Hello, all, and welcome to this afternoon's beer review. A little bit noisy because I got all the windows open on that side, just because it's a little bit hot today. Yes, it's October and it's still 80 in the 80s. Um, yeah, will winter ever come? Well, it's kind of coming. It's getting a little bit cooler at night now once the sun finally sets, but still pretty hot. So, what are we reviewing this week? There's only one review this week. I'm kind of tapering down for my stomach's sake. And this is from 805, Firestone Walker 805. This is from Firestone Walker 805, Cerveza. So it's a Mexican lager, and this is a special edition. So, you know, usually I don't go for special edition cans, but this can art appealed to me. Dia de los Muertos. Uh, Obviously, it's that time of year. There's no date on this can, but there was a date on the box. This is one of the freshest beers that I've ever reviewed. It was canned in the beginning of September. It is now the end of October. That's quite the turnaround time for Hawaii. So yeah, looking forward to reviewing this fairly fresh beer. This is 4.5 ABV. Let's go and read. So this is brewed with lime. So there is the addition of lime to this beer. And let's go and look at our extended reading here. Of course, now it wants to go load slowly. Okay, so not much verbiage. Cerveza is a premium lager with a touch of lime, making this a great tasting beer. Crisp, clean, dry, and approachable. So yeah, you know, it's going to be somewhat of a short review. There ain't going to be a lot of complexity to this. But if you're going to like a Mexican lager with like the desire for complexity, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's like going and buying a Ford Festiva because you want to go fast. Pouring it into the Pilsner glass. So I find these do well in the Pilsner glass, honestly. So, a nice golden yellow, straw yellow to golden yellow, nicely carbonated, as you can see here, with a fizzy white head. Got some of that lime. Yeah. Lime, whetstone. Maybe a hint of some floral hopping there, but the lime's kind of covering up the hopping, at least in the nose. And crackery malts. Very crackery. Okay, rapidly dissipating head. Let's get this onto the palate now, shall we? Mm. Cool, refreshing. Up front, get those dry, crackery malts and a touch of hop bitterness. Lime is more of a top note. You don't get too much of it on the palate. Until the finish, that is. That might just be an artifact of it being nicely chilled, as the style is supposed to be. Finish is more or less clean. There's it goes to those crackery malts as well as a lime in the long finish. So not completely clean, but pretty close to it. There's minerality in the front, rises into the mids, then declines. The lime is not overdone here. You know, it's enough that you taste it, but it's not obstructing the beer flavors on the palate. It's a bit stronger in the nose, though. Mouthfeel and consistency is about right for a 4.5. Just on the edge of wateriness, but not quite crossing over into it. Definitely tastes fresh. None of those off notes that you get sometimes with macro lagers. Yeah. All in all, nicely pleasant. Not a lot of complexity there. Great can art though. Kind of looks like an Orozco piece or something. Or Orozco inspired. You know, I don't think he designed beer cans, being that he was like about 100 years ago. He did most of his work, or over that, over 100 years ago. It's been a while since I. There was a time when I read quite heavily and into the Mexican muralists because one of my professors, he was the son of not one of the big Mexican muralists, but one of the people in the movement. He ended up moving to Hawaii, and so he had like this massive amount of original artwork as well as letters and stuff to basically all the famous people in the Mexican art world in the early 20th century. So it was something, and he loved talking about it. And it all was very interesting because you got to hear all the inside baseball there. Um, Diego Rivera was he did not treat his woman right. Let's put it that way. Um, and I ended up finding like my most favorite person in that entire art movement is someone that I discovered who was also pretty obscure. A woman named Nahui Olin, after, of course, the Nahuatl goddess of the sun, I believe. And she mostly did photography and sort of fashion design of a sort. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. This started off as like a peer review, and it turned into a minor flex about my knowledge on early 20th century Mexican art. So I don't think people know it, but I'm actually a massive nerd. Um, Books were my original addiction. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty good Mexican lager. It's not actually made in Mexico, but you know, a Mexican lager style beer. So yeah, give it a shot if you find it. Um, while you probably won't, it's a year rounder, but you probably won't find it with this limited edition artwork. But yeah, give it a shot if you find it. Cheers.